Good morning, everybody. It is Monday. It's I'm wanting to say the 15th of September. Yes, it's the 15th of September. It's about 12:15 and I am on my way to pick Ashley up from his office, and we are going to choose worktops for our new kitchen. We got back from holiday on Friday and we had a really nice week away. The weather wasn't the best, if I'm honest. We had 4 days of not great weather and then 3 days of better weather, but it was lovely nonetheless. It was a really nice resort and lovely food and great company. Lovely to spend time with my family and lots of relaxation and reading and all the usual good stuff. So that was very nice indeed. Anyway, we got back on Friday. We flew back to Bournemouth Airport, as the rest of my family live in Bournemouth. And whoa, you didn't look where you were going, did you? Yeah, flew back to Bournemouth Airport, and then we had the most horrendous car journey back. It took us over 3 hours to get home from Bournemouth Airport. Should be closer to 2. In fact, it was nearly 3.5, I think, in the end. But never mind. Then we've had a quietish weekend. I think the builders are starting this week at some point on the kitchen. So we've made a start on emptying that. I don't know when they're starting. No doubt we get a phone call saying we'll be there tomorrow at some time this week. And whilst I'm looking forward to having a new kitchen very much, I'm dreading all the upheaval. I feel like I've had 11 years of building work really, and I'm all building worked out, but it will be lovely once it's done, so I'm trying to focus on that. The weather has been changeable. Haven't yet put the heating on. Has anybody else not yet put the heating on? I feel like the time is getting closer when I will have to though. I was feeling really quite chilly last night, but it definitely feels like we've segued straight from summer into autumn, sort of almost before the end of August. It felt like autumn was upon us this year. I was hoping we might have a bit of an Indian summer, but it seems not, I would say, so far. But never mind. Anyway, I've got a few bits to show you and talk to you about and all of that good stuff, so I will catch up with you when I get back from the selection of worktops. It's a lot of hours later. The day's getting away with me somewhat. I was just going to show you what I was wearing today. I'm wearing this jumper from Marks & Spencer's from last year. It's that weather, you know, that weather when you get up in the morning and it's chilly and you put something warm on, and then by halfway through the day you're wanting to get changed again. It's the type of weather when you get changed 3 times a day. That's how I feel about this weather. Anyway, I've got this V-neck Marks & Spencer jumper from last year, which is warm and cosy, but a little bit too warm and cosy right at this very moment in time. Got these trousers on, which are sort of wide leg navy trousers, which are from a brand called AQHH, I think. These were sent to me, and I really like them. They've got pockets and they're sort of stretchy fabric. I'm going to put, I think they're from Amazon. I'm going to put a link in the description box for anyone who's interested, because they are so comfy. They look like trousers, but they're a good length on me, and they look like proper tailored trousers, but they feel like wearing loungewear, so I'm all for that. And then I've got my Marks & Spencer's trainers on, which are from not this summer gone, the one before. And I kind of wish that I bought another pair, because they are my favourite beige trainers, and my only beige trainers, but very comfy. Then I've also got, I don't know if you can see this catching the light, hang on, let me turn you, this bracelet, which is fabulous. I've got to show you this actually. Hang on, let me go and sit down. Ignore the mess in the background. I haven't quite got round to tidying this room yet today. It just is what it is, let me be perfectly honest. So this bracelet I've been wearing for the last few weeks. It's from a brand called Fanci Me Jewellery. They do all sorts of different jewellery, but I have 2 bracelets to show you today. There's this one, I'm going to pop a close-up in. This is moonstones. It's sterling silver and moonstones, and I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. but I've been wearing it for the last couple of weeks. I tend to wear this one during the day. It's a nice daytime bracelet. I like silver jewellery during the day. Tend to move to gold in the evenings. But I do enjoy silver jewellery very much. And I love a moonstone. I don't know about you, but I feel like moonstones are such a pretty stone. They just glint in the light, almost like a little crystal. They're so lovely. And this is advertised as being waterproof and tarnish free. And I can confirm, as I said, I've been wearing this for the last couple of weeks. I was away last week and swimming every day in the pool, and this did not tarnish at all. It is looking absolutely as good as new, absolutely perfect. Also, 2 different people asked me where it was from, so it's obviously an eye-catching piece. So it's really nicely made as well. It feels like a nice quality piece of jewellery. Comes in a box like this. Fancy me, hang on, let me just get the tail of the ribbon out. It comes in a box like this. Very pretty colour. I love this peach colour. And it also comes, if you're gifting anything, it comes with a little bag as well that you can pop it into, with Fancy Me on the side, and also little pouches like this, just little pop-up pouches, and a box like this as well, which you can put the bracelet into there. All really nice quality packaging as well. So this tennis bracelet is more of an evening bracelet. I love the shape of the cubic zirconias in it. Again, this is sterling silver and the stones are cubic zirconia, as I said. I'm going to just show you a close-up. I can't really show you that like this. I'll show you a close-up photograph of the clasp because it's just so elegant and different. I haven't seen a clasp like this before and I really, really like it. I wore this a lot on holiday during the evenings. And it's just a really nice, delicate, dainty piece to finish off an outfit in the evening. I really enjoyed wearing it again. Feels lovely quality. All the jewellery comes with a 2-year warranty, and both of these bracelets come in at under $90 if you want to use my discount code, which I will pop down in the description box and across the screen here for you. Now they have a huge range of jewellery, not just bracelets, but lots and lots of other pieces. Gifting season is coming up, isn't it? So maybe you would like a new piece of jewellery or somebody you know might do. And it's pretty affordable as well, considering the quality, I think is very reasonably priced. So thank you to Fancy Me Jewellery for sponsoring this part of today's video. And as I said, I'll put all the info down there in the description box for you if you're interested in going over to have a look. Right, I've got some empties to share. Got quite a few actually. I can't remember when I last did empties, but perhaps I've just come to the end of a lot of things recently. So the first one is this Body Shop Avocado Body Lotion to Oil, which was perfectly nice, but not exciting. I don't think I'd go and seek it out again. It was fairly moisturising, fairly pleasant to use. I seem to get through it fairly quickly, so I don't know if that's a bad sign or a good sign really, but it wasn't really, you know, I wouldn't go and search for another one. This one I talked about in a favourites, travel favourites I think. This is Molten Brown Orange and Bergamot Bath and Shower Gel. I took this on holiday with me when we went to Greece and it was just delightful. And when we brought it back, I upgraded it to a bath, bubble bath gel. Amazing. I absolutely loved it. Lots and lots of bubbles. The smell is very spa-like. Really, really nice. That one's going to be on my Christmas list, I think. This was another bubble bath. This was from the brand Bubble Tea in the scent Mango. It was a bit disappointing, if I'm perfectly honest. I've used bubble tea products before. This came from Home Bargains. It smells nice, but once it was in the bath, it didn't give off a really strong scent, but in the bottle it smelled nice. And it was okay in terms of producing. It was just okay. I mean, it was cheap enough, so it was okay. Perhaps I'm being too picky. This is a micellar water makeup remover by a brand called Proven. I think this was sent to me. This was absolutely fine. It didn't come out very easily. It's got a really tiny hole in the top. But I don't think I'd seek it out again. It was just okay. This is a mini Marks & Spencer's Ultimate Sleep Cream Moisturiser. That was very pleasant to use. I enjoyed it. I'd be very happy to use that again. This is a little hand cream from Ren. This is the Atlantic Kelp and Magnesium Energizing Hand Cream. I think it was fine. I don't remember anything specific about it. I don't think it smelled particularly nice. I do like a nice smelling hand cream, so I probably wouldn't rush to buy that again. This is a Ted Baker Body Souffle. What does it say about that? Peony Spritz. That was just okay. It was a bit heavily floral for me. Wasn't my favourite. This is another mini moisturiser. I think this must have come from an advent calendar at some point, or a beauty box. MDO is the brand, I don't know it, but it's an intense hydrating moisturiser. It was fine. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, it was just okay. And this one I did like. This came... Did this come in my Harrods beauty bag this year? Can't remember where this came from. It was by the brand Trini London, which is a brand aimed at women of a certain age, of course, isn't it? And it's the Energize Me Niacinamide Moisturiser for Recharged Balanced Skin. It was delightful. I really enjoyed this. It was very nice indeed. I would use it again, but Trini's products are up there price-wise, aren't they? I liked the way it did that. I thought the mechanism was good. It felt quite high end, which you do when you spend a lot of money on a product. You want the packaging to feel nice as well. I do anyway. So that was good, and it was a really nice product to use. I always find it difficult to quantify what stuff is doing to my face. But I felt like this left my skin feeling quite nice and plumped and soft and pretty good. So yes, I would possibly use that again when I'm feeling in a spendy mood for skincare. We have, what have we got here? This is Danessa Myrix. This is a brand I'm hearing quite a lot about now. This is called the Yummy Skin Glow Serum, and I was using that as a face primer. It was nice. I liked it. I thought it was good. I might look out some more from that brand because I thought that was a pretty good little product. It was an interesting little try. Right, this is a perfume from my perfume subscription. It's Wanderlust by Michael Kors. I don't know if you can see that. As you can see, it wasn't for me. I didn't hate it. I thought it was nice. I think my mum might like it, so I think that's one that I'm going to probably pass on to her. This is the last couple of perfume samples from my Fleur perfume set. This is Somebody Would and Lost Cause. This one, as you can see, still has some in. This little spray has broken. This happens a lot on these mini sprays, which is very annoying. And it doesn't even undo to get the rest of the product out. Not that I thought either of these were great. The whole of the Fleur perfume set actually was a bit of a miss for me. I found it a bit wishy-washy and not quite strong enough or long-lasting enough, generally speaking, although some of the scents were quite pleasant. And then the final item today is this NYX, this has done me good service, double-ended contouring stick, and this end I was using as an eye primer. I've had this a lot of years now, so it's time it went. It had started to smell just a little bit not quite right, and I have used it a lot. I've used it an awful lot, so yeah, time for that one to go. And that's my empties. That was quite a lot of empties today, wasn't it? It's right, I need to do some tidying, and I've just had a phone call from the builder saying that they are starting on Wednesday, so we've got tonight and tomorrow night to empty the kitchen. Ah! Good morning. Whoa, a bit of a frog in my throat there. Good morning, it's Tuesday. I was a bad vlogger yesterday. I think it's just a lot, having heard from the builders yesterday that although I knew they were starting this week, the actual reality of them coming tomorrow and how much stuff we have in our kitchen is just hitting home. Ashley and I spent quite a lot of time last night moving stuff out and boxing stuff up and figuring out what we were going to need for the next month to 6 weeks. I'm trying to get my head around 6 weeks because I feel like it's more likely to be 6 weeks, because kitchen fit is booked for the beginning of October, and then the template for the worktop is booked on the 10th, and the template for the worktop can't be done until the kitchen is completely fitted because we're having quartz worktops, and that when they come and template, they then go back and make the worktops, and there's always a gap in between that. So there's that lengthy bit sort of at the end. This is the third kitchen we've had done over the last 25 years, I guess, with stone worktops. So yeah, we sort of know the drill, and it does add that extra week to 10 days onto the end of a kitchen refurb. And obviously we've got the building work as well. But not thinking about that, just thinking about getting the kitchen emptied and getting as far as that, builders coming tomorrow, getting it shut off because they're going to work from the outside. I'll talk about that more in another video. But yeah, there shouldn't be too much intrusion into the house because they can work from outside to in, and we're going to board up the gap between the kitchen and the lounge is the plan. Worked quite well when they did my ensuite bathroom, doing it like that. We're lucky that we have a house that sort of enables that scenario, which is good. So yeah, I've still got to sort out a lot of food stuff, and Ashley's going to bring more boxes home from work tonight. I'm sort of moving stuff out of the kitchen, figuring out what we're not going to need for the next month to 6 weeks, and we're boxing that up and putting it away, and then figuring out a sort of skeleton amount of kitchen stuff that we can manage with, and food stuff for the next 6 weeks, and setting that up in. We've got sort of a little tiny pantry cupboard, which I'm thinking I can make in the house, which I can make like a kettle and toaster sort of station. That having been said, that might be problematic because when the electrics go off in the kitchen for the building work, which is going to be for probably a couple of weeks realistically, once that happens, there may not be any electric in the pantry cupboard either, but we can run a extension lead if that's the case, I guess. And then we've got the conservatory kitchen outside, which is sort of a skeleton kitchen. And don't get me wrong, I know we're super, super lucky and privileged to have a spare kitchen, so to speak, but it's still quite an upheaval. So yeah, there's that. So I'm going to put some stuff out there. We've got a gas oven and hob out there. I don't think the oven works. From memory, the oven hasn't worked for a few years, but the hob works okay. So yeah, not the end of the world, but just a lot of moving around today. I think we'll be all right once we're set up and get our heads around where everything is and all of that stuff. And yes, it's going to be lovely when it's done. Really lovely when it's done. Anyway, that's what I'm doing mostly today. Tuesday is going to be setting up new kitchen, emptying the kitchen, setting up the new kitchen. I've got to nip to the parcel shop in a minute. And I think I'm going to film a quick video for my membership channel this morning as well. I have got ahead a little bit because obviously we're going to have limited cooking facilities and cooking equipment available. I've made 2 big soups in the Thermomix the last few days. I made a really delicious chorizo and bean vegetable sort of tomato based soup, which we had on Sunday, which was lovely. I've got lots of that left. And yesterday I made a sweet potato, courgette and ginger soup, which again that was a smooth one. The other one was chunky. So I'm going to put those into Tupperware and make them into individual portions and freeze them. So I've got some nice quick easy lunches to grab. So I've got to do that. And what else have I got to do? I need to have a bit of a clothes declutter. I've got a few admin-y bits and pieces to do, but I'm feeling like I'll have a blast at the kitchen, then go and do something. I'm not going to do my clothes declutter. In fact, I'm going to do a separate video on that. I'm going to save that for next week and do a separate video on, it's sort of not so much a declutter as a reorganisation of my summer and winter wardrobes and getting things sorted a little bit. Also, doing this kitchen has made me realise how much stuff we've got. I said to Ashley this morning, we've got so much stuff. This thing that I do on YouTube does involve a lot of stuff, a lot more stuff than the average person has, or a lot more stuff than it comes into the average person's house, I should say. I do give a lot of things to charity, but still stuff builds up. All sorts of stuff, you know. Not in a bad way, I'm not complaining about it at all, but it's not a minimalist job. Let's just say it's not a job for a minimalist, this. But also, Ashley's a bit of a hoarder, I've talked about that before, and when you have a large house, and again, this is absolutely not a complaint, I am aware how privileged I am, pitiful that I have to even say that, but in this day and age on the internet with all you judgy Judies out there, I have to say it. I'm aware that I'm very privileged to live in such a lovely house with a lot of space, but human nature, I think, is to fill up your space with stuff, and because you have a lot of space to put stuff in, you don't notice the stuff accumulating until you come to actually look at it, like empty the kitchen and go, what have we got all of this stuff for? You know. Also yesterday I threw away some bicarbonate of soda that was best before 2011. I think that's a bit of a record, bit of a recent record. Right, less chatting and more action from me, I think, this morning, and I will catch up with you a little bit later. 5:15, and I am a broken woman. I'm exhausted. It's taken me all day to get the kitchen sorted and clean in here and set it all up. So got everything made. It looks so much better now. I've cleaned it all and everything is in here. I've got my little food station there. I've got my Thermomix and my slow cooker, my air fryer there. I've got the stuff I need for cooking. I've got cleaning stuff down there and some crockery. A lot of the cupboards here don't work because the ceiling has dropped over the years, and it was fine when we first moved in, but the construction of this part of the house, it's not actually part of the house, it's a separate building, but the construction is not great, and there's a lot of leaking and issues, and yeah, the ceiling has dropped down, so the cupboard doors don't all open, so a bit limited for cupboard space. However, having said that, again, very grateful that I have a spare kitchen, you know. So yeah, all good. Also got a microwave set up over there on top of the tumble dryer, and yes, feeling quite nice and organised out here. Let me take you in to show you the devastation that is the kitchen, although the kitchen will not exist by this time tomorrow, I suspect. They're always very quick at demolishing, these builders, which is, I guess demolishing is less technical than actually building, isn't it? So, first of all, I'll show you my little pantry cupboard, actually, which is in here, and I've sort of set this up as I've got my kettle and my toaster in here so we can make a cup of tea without going outside in the mornings, and I've got some bread and mugs, and I've got to do the builders teas and coffees and stuff in here as well. Cleared out a lot of my cookery books, had a good sort out of my cookery books because they were always along the back of this shelf. So yeah, that's all feeling quite nice and organised in there as well. And then, excuse the state of my lounge, that's all waiting to be boxed up because that's stuff that we don't need while the refurb's going on. Ashley's bringing boxes back from the office for that. And then here's the kitchen, completely empty. Oh, Ashley grew those 2 butternut squashes. He can do something with them when he gets back from work. And all that food is, again, stuff that we're just going to put into storage. We won't necessarily need it while we're doing the refurb. I've got all the basics out, but yes, you realise how many cupboards you've got. Ashley needs to move the coffee machine as well, it's too heavy for me. But yeah, you realise how much stuff you've got in a kitchen when you come to empty it. It reminded me a little bit of moving house, actually, and how much I didn't enjoy that last time we did it. Anyway, I'm going out this evening. Honestly, the last thing I feel like doing is going out. However, I'm just going for a very low-key evening with my best friend, catching up with her. Haven't seen her for a few weeks. And going out for something to eat, which makes me very happy because it means we don't have to cook, or I don't have to cook tonight. Ashley's got some leftovers that he's going to microwave, liver and bacon and mashed potato that we had on Sunday. Or Saturday. I don't know, doesn't matter anyway. And yes, I'm looking forward to going out. My feet are absolutely killing me. I reckon I've probably done about 20,000 steps today, walking in and out and getting rid of all the stuff. Feel achievey. I feel like I've achieved, if a little bit exhausted. I haven't achieved on the work front though, but you know, everything can't be done in one day, can it? So tomorrow will definitely be a worky day, I think. Trying to find somewhere to prop you to show you my outfit is not particularly easy. There we are, that's the best we're going to do, isn't it? Got this dress on from Shein, you may remember it from last winter. This cardigan is a charity shop buy, it was originally Tesco's F&F. And then I have my TikTok shop boots on. That was one of the worst outfit exhibitions ever. Ted Baker bag that I've had for years and years and years and years and years. I am going out to meet my friend Faye. Actually, I could have propped you on the dustbin. I reckon you'd have been better there. We could probably... Could we do that? That might work better. Actually, you're now on top of a crate of bricks. But that works much better. There we are. God, proper dark weather. Dark weather? I don't think weather is dark, Caroline. It's properly dark. That is going to be the worst video quality ever, no doubt. Anyway, it's 9 o'clock, it's 21:06 in fact, and I had a lovely couple of hours catching up with Faye and putting the world to rights, and I had a grilled chicken, avocado and crispy bacon burger for dinner. Took the bread off though. That I really wish that this place had the option to, I mean it doesn't matter, you can take the bread off, but you know sometimes in places you can get a lettuce wrap around your burger rather than bread. They serve them in brioche buns there. Brioche buns are not my favourites for burgers anyway. I find them a little bit rich and squishy. And yeah, anyway, I took the bread off, but it was delicious. It was so nice. The chicken, avocado and bacon. And yeah, very nice. Then I had a cup of tea afterwards and we chatted and put the world to rights. And now I'm off home and I'm absolutely knackered. I was awake at 5:30 this morning, and although I didn't get up at 5:30, and what am I trying to say? I was awake at 5:30 this morning, and I think my busy day has left me a little bit knackered. So I'm looking forward to getting into my bed. I will not be passing go, and I will not be collecting £200. I will be going straight to bed. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, the builders will be here. Good morning on Wednesday. I woke up in the night. I need to take my glasses off. I woke up in the night about 2 o'clock, and I sat up and read my book for about an hour, and then I went back to sleep. And very often when I do that, I have bad dreams when I go back to sleep. The joys of postmenopausal insomnia, as I'm sure a lot of you know, are never ending, aren't they? But yeah, anyway, last night I had this, and I very rarely remember my dreams. I'm not someone who remembers their dreams or is particularly interested in dreams or anything. But last night I had this vivid dream that my teeth were falling out. I had something wrong with my mouth, and I put my hand up to it and a tooth fell out, and I had about 5 teeth fall out in all. And I remember in the dream I had my hand full of teeth that were just kept falling out of my head, and it was very, very, very traumatic. And I'm sure that there is some meaning, isn't there, about having a dream with when your teeth fall out. However, that was not the most bizarre thing. Part of the dream was that I woke up thinking it was a dream, but it was real. And then I realised that I had lost all my teeth, but that was the dream as well. There were sort of layers of dream. It was most bizarre. Honestly, I was telling Ashley about it this morning. It's one of the most bizarre dreams I've ever had. So yes, if you know anything about dreams, what are your thoughts on that? Ashley's mum has had some teeth issues recently, and we were discussing them vaguely last night, so I don't know whether that is something to do with it or, you know, related in any way. But yeah, how weird is that? So strange. Anyway, it's Wednesday morning, it's just coming up to 10 o'clock. The builders are here, they have made a start. We have got the kitchen blocked off and they are dismantling the kitchen as we speak. They turned up at 7:45, I think. Good job I got up early. Blush recommendation. I've got a new blusher that I have. Actually, it's not that new. Is it new? Yeah, I suppose it is new. But I'm very much enjoying, and I really like it. So I wanted to show you that. But plans for today. I have an appointment with my accountant at 2:30. So I'm going to that. Other than that, I'm just going to stick around the house in case the builders need anything, as it's their first day. I've got some work to do. I'm going to film a video. Luckily, it's one that I can film in here because I don't doubt there will be quite a lot of banging and crashing going on an ongoing basis from now on. So I'm going to film that video, and a little bit of Vinted listing. I've got some bits to put on Vinted. And generally sort of tidying, making cups of tea for the builders, and all of that good stuff. So that's sort of the plan for that. Also, I'm going to make a sweet and sour chicken in the slow cooker, I think. Let me show you the blusher anyway, because it's really very good. I'm very pleased with it. Hang on, it looks as though I haven't made any effort to tidy any of that up, but I actually have. But never mind. Right, you sit there a second. The light won't be the best, but it's all right. We can cope with that. Where's my blusher? It's here. I've got it on today. I had it on yesterday. I don't know how well you can see it, actually. Let's try and get some... Let me step back from the light a little bit. You might be able to see it a bit better. Just leaves the most lovely... It's a liquid blush. I just put a couple of dots of it on my cheek and sort of pat it in with a big fluffy brush, and it just gives this lovely sort of lit from within glow, which is so nice. It is this. It's from Glow Recipe, and it's called Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewy Flush. So it's sort of skincare-y as well. It's a blusher with skincare ingredients, if you like. That is the colour of it. There. And as I say, you can just sort of pat it in. You can use your fingers or you can use a brush, and it just gives this gorgeous, the sun's shining right in here, so you probably can't see that very well, but it just gives this gorgeous sort of lit from within glow. Lovely. I'm very, very pleased with that. I'll link it in the description box anyway. I don't know if it comes in different colours. Has that got a colour on it? Watermelon Flush, apparently. So there you go. You can just sit there for a minute. Right. It's 12:30. I've actually got some work done this morning, which is good. I've got a meeting with the accountant at 2:30, so I'll need to leave here at about 10:00. And I'm going to have a lunch break. I'm in the outside kitchen now. I haven't got my fridge out here, so I'm having to... I've got a Thorne and Mason carrier bag, simply because that was the first carrier bag that came to hand. God, I don't know what that was. And sort of bringing things en masse in from the fridge. I'm just going to put together a quick sweet and sour chicken for tonight's dinner into the little slow cooker here. This one. I've got actually bought a whole chicken at the weekend and then just cut the breasts off to roast. So I've got the rest of the meat in there to put in it, and I've got to figure out where I've put everything. Chopping board and knife. Where's my not too scary knife? That's not it. Where's the sharpener and the other knife? Ugh. Never mind, I'll manage with this one. Actually, I've just seen my favourite knife. It's in here. It will take a while to get used to where everything is in here, I guess. Super simple. Sweet and sour. In the slow cooker with a jar sauce. Got to keep it simple, haven't we? I have been watching on TV series on Netflix called Hostage, and it's so good. It's like a British political series. Saran Jones stars as the Prime Minister of England. I like her, she's a good actress. She's been Corrie, didn't she, years ago? Yeah, she's in it, playing the Prime Minister, and the basic premise is her husband gets kidnapped and held hostage, and they want her to resign. And it's full of political intrigue and very, very good. I've watched 3 episodes. I think there's 6 episodes, and I've watched 3 so far, and I'm really enjoying it, so I would definitely recommend that. Let me know what you've been watching on TV lately, and if it's good, and if you've got any recommendations. I've always got a list of things to watch, but if you've got any recommendations for me, I'm always up for a good recommendation. I had a lot of carrots, so I decided to I just chopped up an onion. I'm just going to peel this carrot and put it in chunks. I don't know if carrot is, but I feel like you do get carrot in China, and you know, if you get sweet and sour pork or chicken for the Chinese takeaway, like the Hong Kong style, always has carrot in it. But I feel like maybe I could be wrong about that. I don't know, does it or not? Anyway, I'm putting a carrot in mine on the basis that it's extra veg, and I've got quite a lot of carrots in my fridge that need using. So we've got onion, carrot. I'm going to do a yellow pepper here, and then a red pepper as well. Right, that's all done. I decided I didn't need the red pepper, as the jar of sauce actually says just to cook it with chicken. It has got some sort of lumps of pepper in, and also because the slow cooker is almost full, so I'm just giving that a good old stir. Pop the lid on, find somewhere to plug it in, and get it on, ready for dinner this evening. Let's just move you over here a second. I can get this plugged in here and pop it on high, and then give it a couple of hours on high, then I'll probably stick it down to low. So I've still got my red pepper left. I've got all of that to wash up now. I didn't use that knife, so that can go back in there. And I'm going to make myself a bowl of this soup, this is a chorizo and bean sort of stewy soup that I made in the Thermomix at the weekend. So I'm going to do a bowl of that for my lunch in the microwave, and watch a bit of YouTube, I think. It's about 6:05. The builders went home. It's about 4:30. They have ripped out the entire kitchen today and part of the wall that needs to come down, which is good. I would show you, but the kitchen is sealed off from both sides, from the outside and from the inside, which is good because that keeps the dust to a minimum. It has been the most vile, miserable, miserly, drizzly, horrible, damp day. I went out to my appointment with the accountant this afternoon, and my hair got, you know, that really fine rain that feels like nothing but is really quite wet, and really makes you, what am I trying to say? I'm doing 2 things at the same time. It never works, Caroline. When will you ever learn? Anyway, I'm going to put this in my bath, which is, I did a beauty box unboxing today. Let me purchase. And an unboxing video, today, and this was one of the things in it. So I am treating myself to some lovely bath salts in my bath, because it's been a long day, quite a productive day, but a long day nonetheless. Hopefully they will smell nice. I'm looking forward to my bath. Also looking forward to my sweet and sour chicken. Ashley's just got in from work. Got the new plastic boxes that arrived today to store the rest of the kitchen stuff in for the dining room table, so that'll be good if we can get some of that stuff gone, or stored away at least. Yes, right, I am going to, I think tomorrow morning, I'm going to pop down to Marks and Spencer's, get a few foodie bits. Feel like we need some nice easy foodie bits for the next few days. I've got some lamb koftas in the freezer, which we might have for dinner tomorrow night, so I need some bits to go with that. And then the builders aren't coming till late tomorrow. I think they're coming about 10 o'clock. And then come home, and then I'm going to come home and do some work in the afternoon. So that's tomorrow's plan. And then Friday I need to film another video. It's all go. It is all go. Right, I am signing off for the evening. I'm going to go and get in that lovely bath with my iPad, watch some YouTube, chill out, then have some dinner. Probably watch an episode of Yellowstone with Ashley. Actually, we talked about watching the Thursday Murder Club tonight. We might watch that. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. Good morning. It's Thursday. It's about... I've got my watch on upside down again. I've got this new watch that I got from Temu that I really like, but I keep putting it on upside down. Let me just rectify that while I think about it, otherwise I'll be confused as to what the time is all day. The face is actually a little bit small. I struggle to see it a little bit without my glasses. That's better. 5 to 9. 5 to 9. And I think I said to you last night I'm going to go out this morning. I think I'm just going to pop over to Marks and Spencer's, have a little look around there, get some bits that we need food-wise, and yeah, then come home. I turned my ankle over, not badly, but I've got a weak ankle. My left ankle is quite weak. And has given me trouble over the years, and I turned it over on Wednesday when I was, no, Tuesday actually, when I was moving all the stuff from the kitchen to out the back, and I woke up this morning and then turned it a little bit again because it was hurting stupidly. So I only did a short walk on the treadmill this morning because it was giving, every day I do that, and because it was giving me a little bit of jip, to be quite honest. So I shortened my walk, did 15 rather than 20 minutes, and I think that was probably quite a good thing. Anyway, last night we watched the Thursday Murder Club. Has anyone seen that yet? The new film that's out on Netflix. I haven't read the book, although I know the books are, there's a series of 4 books, I think, now. Not really my cup of tea, murder mystery, but I wanted to see the film because it had been, I've heard a lot I heard it talked about a lot, and such a good cast. Pierce Brosnan and David Tennant and Celia Imrie and Helen Mirren and lots of other people as well, lots of famous faces in it. And I would say we moderately enjoyed the film. I actually fell asleep for some of it. It was a bit of a convoluted and not great storyline, I thought, but I really liked the cinematography, and obviously they spent a lot of money making it on sets and you know, scenery and everything, and obviously actors as well. Yeah, I moderately enjoyed it. I'm pretty glad I didn't go to the cinema and watch it. I think, don't think it would have been my favourite there, but yeah, it was an okay watch. It passed an evening. Has anybody else seen it, and have you read the book? And I'd be interested to know if it's true to the book. My guess is that it would be very true to the book, having watched it, although not having read the book, it's difficult to be able to give any sort of informed opinion on that, obviously. Anyway, we watched that last night. My sweet and sour turned out actually quite nice. That jar of sauce, don't often do jars of sauces, and if I do tend to pimp them up a bit. But it was so super simple and really quite tasty. I'm glad I did it with the extra vegetables though. On the side of the jar it said just chop up chicken and add the jar of sauce and you're done. But I'm glad I added the extra vegetables. It definitely needed those. But yeah, that was pretty yummy. Enjoyed that. Today, the builders are not coming till 10 because they're going to fit somebody's skirting board first thing this morning. So I'll probably be out by the time they arrive. I think we've got a skip lorry or a skip coming today, which is good to get rid of all the building rubble, which will definitely be a good thing. I'm going to try and get this video edited, or most of this video edited, when I get back from my shopping trip. And tomorrow's Friday. I can't believe how quickly this week has gone. It's really absolutely whizzed by. Do you know, I really struggle these days to get dressed in the mornings. Since I lost weight, I find it really difficult. I change almost every morning at least twice because I'm not happy with what I'm wearing. Finding it really difficult to, not so much going out wear, occasion wear and going out type stuff, I'm pretty good at putting together and being happy with what I've got on. But just the everyday stuff, I still head towards the tunic tops and sort of jeans look on a daily basis. You know, the long line tunic tops. I find them comfortable and it's very much my comfort zone, and the tucking in thing I still find quite difficult. I guess it's all just going to take time, isn't it? It's difficult to undo 30 years of conditioning in a few months, I suppose, isn't it? Anyway, finished putting my makeup on. Do something with this hair, which really should have been washed this morning, but has gone into curly girl city because of all the rain yesterday. Doesn't look much better today, I have to say. And get myself on out to the shops. Quick outfit of the day. Please God don't let the skip lorry come while I'm prancing about filming myself in the driveway. I have got on Halara Jeans. You're not surprised by that, are you? This V-neck short sleeve top, which is either from Primark or Shein, navy V-neck t-shirt. This oversized pink shacket, which was Marks & Spencer's last winter, I think. Quite like this. I didn't wear it very much last winter, but I've been wearing it quite a bit since it got a bit colder. And I've got my new pink Temu cowboy boots on as well, which I think go really nicely with it. Not sure it's the best weather for wearing the pink Temu cowboy boots. I'll link the Halara Jeans. I've got a discount code for that, I think, and I'll link the Temu boots as well if anybody's interested. Same handbag as the other day. Ted Baker got away with it. Skip lorry didn't arrive. Just thought I'd give you a quick where we're at with the building work. I am doing a separate video step by step on it as well. This is the outside of the kitchen. As you can see, a lot of demolition has been done. Lots of demolition there. Skip's coming this morning, so hopefully a lot of that will be gone by this evening. Well, Marks & Spencer's is done. It was busy in there. They have some quite nice fashion bits actually for autumn winter. Definitely gone into autumn winter in there now. And also, refreshingly, although maybe I was looking in the wrong place, food department, not absolutely chock full of Christmas stuff, which was nice. There was a few bits creeping in, but not absolutely loads, which I can't deal with in mid-September. I simply cannot deal with Christmas in mid-September, and certainly not at the end of August, which I saw in the garden centre a few weeks ago. Do you remember that? Oh my goodness me. I was listening to somebody I watch on YouTube this morning talking about checking her oil in the car, and it made me think about a conversation that I had on this channel actually several years ago about car maintenance and whether we should, as women, be able to do the basics in terms of maintaining our own cars. Now, I remember when I passed my driving test back in the day, my dad teaching me, when I got my first car, how to top up the water, do the windscreen washer solution, where to put that, how to check the oil, how to fill the oil, how to change a wheel, and all of that basic car maintenance stuff. And check the tyre pressures as well, that sort of thing. And I can still do all that. I don't always do it all myself. Ashley sometimes does it for me, but I could still do all of those things. Actually, no, I probably couldn't change a wheel these days. Wheel changing would probably be beyond me, to be perfectly honest. However, I do have a membership at the RAC, so hopefully they would come and change any wheels that needed changing in the event that they did need changing. And I remember when I talked about this before, several people in the comments saying, I wouldn't have any idea how to do any of it. My husband does it. And that then got me onto thinking something else that has been on my mind recently, which may be the subject for a whole other video actually, which is one day, and it is likely as women, we are going to be the one who outlive our male partners. For those of us who have male partners, husbands, boyfriends, whatever, we are likely to be the ones who live for longer. One day we're going to have to do all this stuff ourselves, and some of us, of course, do not have a partner, or have a partner who doesn't know how to do this stuff. So I feel like if you are a driver and a car owner, you kind of should be able to do all that. This is possibly contentious, and I'm probably going to get some blowback on this, and that's okay. We can disagree on this, that's not a problem. But I feel like as a car owner and driver, you should at least have a rough idea of how to do the basics of that sort of stuff. I mean, I'm not suggesting that we should learn to change a spark plug or, you know, do an engine rebuild. Let's not get silly here, but just those basic sort of maintenance things like checking the oil, knowing where the dipstick is, knowing how to fill up the windscreen washer when it's empty, all of that basic stuff. I kind of feel that that is important for not just women, for everybody who drives the car to know. I would be interested in thoughts on this again, because I remember I got some quite hefty disagreement on this last time I talked about it. I vaguely thought about having a coffee at Marks and Spencer's, but two things: the escalator was out of order, which would have meant going in the lift. I don't particularly like the lift in Marks and Spencer's. I'm a bit lift wary, not keen on lifts. That there are stairs as well somewhere, but I couldn't remember exactly where they are. And secondly, I forgot to bring my book with me, and I didn't want to spend 20 minutes drinking a coffee and scrolling aimlessly on my phone, so I decided that I would go home and do something useful while I have a cup of coffee. Actually, I might go into Starbucks and get myself a takeaway pumpkin spice latte. Quite fancy a pumpkin spice latte. Haven't had one yet this year. They've gone up in price as well, haven't they? I think a small pumpkin spice latte is now about $5, which is shocking, isn't it, for a coffee? But I don't often have a takeaway coffee, as I've said before. In fact, the last time I talked about it on here, which was it just after it was when Starbucks had opened in town, wasn't it? Which was 7 months ago. I think that was the last time I had a takeaway coffee. Just trying to think now if I have one since then. Don't think I have. I'm going to take myself off to Starbucks and get a pumpkin spice latte, because it's pumpkin spice latte weather now. It definitely is, because it's mizzly, drizzly, dark and grey. This is why I don't go and get takeaway coffees. Went into Starbucks, wasn't particularly busy, and there was maybe 2 people waiting for orders, and I was the only person at the till. Maybe 3 people, because someone might have been sitting down waiting for an order. I was the only person at the till. They did apologise for keeping me waiting. Took them 6 minutes to serve me, to place my order. She was a very pleasant woman. There was only 2 people working in there. But as I say, it wasn't busy. And it took another 11 minutes to get my drink after I'd ordered it. 11 minutes. I know, again, lady did apologise for keeping me waiting. I don't know what was going on. It wasn't like they were doing nothing or standing chatting. They seemed to be busy all the time. But there was only 3 of us at the busiest point waiting for orders that we'd placed. And as I say, when I went in, I was the only person at the till. It's very nice. It was £5 and 5 pence. Was it worth the amount of time I spent waiting for it? Probably not. But it does make you go, what's going on? Because getting a takeaway coffee shouldn't take 16 minutes. It just shouldn't, should it? That's almost going into a coffee shop, ordering, getting served, drinking your coffee and leaving type timing. I'm impatient with the world, I'm aware, and it didn't really matter. And she, as I say, she did apologise twice. Firstly for how long it took to serve me, and secondly for how long it took to make the drink afterwards. But is it staff training? Is it these places are just not being staffed with enough people? I don't know. I don't know. But the world's going to hell in a handbasket. It really is. I feel like I'm being quite controversial today. I'm fully expecting some blowback in the comments this week. I'm going to do a little Marks and Spencer's haul in my car because it's just easiest, because I'm going to put it in the fridge, which is in the house, and I haven't got a kitchen to show it you in and all of that stuff, so I'm going to just show you in the car. I've got some plain flatbreads to go with our lamb koftas this evening. I got some little edamame beans for part of my lunch. These were in the sale. These were down from, I'm going to require glasses for this activity. Hang on. 2 seconds. I got lots of sale stuff actually. These were down from £3.90 to £2.26. Edamame beans with soy sauce. I got some microwave in the bag type of vegetables because they're really nice and easy to do with a meal. We've got broccoli, baby sweet corn, beans and carrots for some time over the weekend, I expect, in the next couple of days. I got a 5-pack of new knickers because I needed some. I couldn't resist this hot maple popcorn. This is new, I think. This is for when we next have a film night. Yummy. That sounds really good. I got, this is for the new Italian range. This is the meatball pasta bake. It was with the new stuff anyway, so I assume it's so it's got some weight to it. This is a meal for two, and I have to say I wouldn't have bought this at £6, but at £3.66 it was a barg. I'm going to put that in the freezer, and we're not big on very much ready meal, you know, sort of this type of ready meal, generally speaking, but really convenient while the kitchen is being refurbished. And then I got these, which I thought looked really nice, also in the sale. New York chicken flat things. They're only, you know, chicken breast things with some stuff on them. It's got a jalapeno and lime relish. Looks as though it's got some sort of chili and parsley and stuff on it. British chicken scallops and a jalapeno, and you're all going to correct me and say jalapeno. I know, I just like saying jalapeno. And sweet spiced marinade and a sachet of jalapeno and lime relish. Yum. Those were down from £5.25 to £2.99. That's another one for the freezer. Nice easy dinner one night. Biscuits for the builders. These are the malted milk, extra crust cream, custard creams and extra cream bourbon creams. That's £1.50 for 3 packets of biscuits. That's pretty good, isn't it? I was impressed by that. Coleslaw, that's for Ashley to have with his lamb kofta tonight. We always disagree on coleslaw. I like to buy the low-fat coleslaw, and Ashley likes the full-fat coleslaw, so one or other of us doesn't get to eat it whenever we buy any. 2 pints of semi-skimmed. I was going to say, I thought I'd forgotten something. I thought I didn't have something then. This is for me instead of the coleslaw with my koftas and flatbreads tonight, which is, just realised that's got edamame beans in again. I've got a lot of edamame beans to eat. Super green salad, verdant mix of cucumber, edamame, apple and sugar snaps with a fruity ginger dressing. Thought that sounded lovely. And then some Honduran king prawns, £3.50 down to £2.13, which I'm going to do on a piece of sourdough toast for my lunch with the edamame beans on the side. And that is my Marks and Spencer haul. And that is also it for this video. I am going to finish off here because, actually, just let me have another sip of my... That is very nice, notwithstanding the fact it definitely wasn't worth a 16-minute wait. Or £5.05. But I've had my pumpkin spice latte for the year now. Probably won't need another one till next autumn, so that's all good. I'm going to call this a vlog now because I want to get a start on editing it this afternoon. So I hope you've enjoyed. I will obviously link everything in the description box below that I've talked about. And And don't forget to go and check out the lovely jewellery over at Fanci Me if you are in the market for any jewellery or looking for a gift or anything, because I'm so pleased with those bracelets. They're absolutely lovely. And also don't forget the discount code, which is down there as well. That is it from me for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.